all of you. Why, in a few months it'll be up in lights on Broadway. Come, the eighth wonder of the world!
Wild, weird, wonderful, the stuff for which movies were made. Adventure, to make you wonder if it's true, while your eyes convince you that it is. Truly, the thrill of thrills. Don't miss it this time.
Just another trouble. You told me not to come on the boat.
Good night, kid.
Good night.
Ah, that's what everybody thinks who's never been there.
Skipper, believe it or not, there's a little calm. What?
A little... How little?
The treasure of the island!
Wait!
Of movie you're waiting to see as John Ford and Miriam C. Cooper present Mighty Joe Young, whose sensational exploits will startle you, thrill you, electrify you with hair-raising excitement and suspense. See Mighty Joe Young as he savagely resists capture in his native Africa.
Joe!
See the most fantastic relationship between beast and beauty, a mere girl mastering a primitive giant. See Mighty Joe Young, enraged by Hollywood pranksters, destroy Filmland's swankiest nightclub on the fabulous Sunset Strip.
Mighty Joe Young,
the picture that's alive with the most sensational action thrills ever filmed.
Mightier than King Kong, Mighty Joe Young.
Dinosaur. See and thrill to the terrifying rumble of the first atomic earthquake. See the world's biggest uranium field explode before your very eyes.
I say there are things better left unsolved.
Here is the Columbia Pictures star, Catherine Grant, as she appears in the 7th Voyage of Sinbad.
You know, a girl has to be awfully careful where she goes and what she does these days, because she can wind up in the most unexpected places. For instance, inside a magic lamp.
Welcome, Princess Parissa.
I want to tell you about one of the most unusual, most spectacular motion pictures ever made. Shot in Moorish Spain. Truly an Arabian Nights setting for the most dazzling of all the Arabian Nights adventures. The 7th Voyage of Sinbad. In settings like these, the cameras have created breathless spectacles. Let me show you what happens when Sinbad, the most celebrated adventurer of all times, takes his most thrilling voyage. Here he is as he comes eye to eye with the Cyclops.
Parissa!
Sinbad, here I am, here on the pillow.
10,000 devils. What evil sorcery is this?
Every time I see scenes from the 7th Voyage of Sinbad, I keep wondering, how did they do it? How did they create the very creatures described in the tales of the Arabian Nights? They explained to me that it's done through a new movie-making process called Dynamation. But please don't ask me what it is. All I do is sit back and enjoy it. Let's sit back now and watch some more Dynamation magic.
Look out!
Kill him.
By this time, you've seen a lot of Sinbad, played by a very handsome young actor named Kerwin Matthews. As dashing a swashbuckler as you've seen around since Douglas Fairbanks Sr. He's strong enough to carry me with just one finger.
You must try, Princess. It's our only hope.
But don't think I play all my scenes with Kerwin this way. Some of the time, I'm a real big girl.
For another such kiss, I'd invent a whole continent.
Oh, there's more, much more in the 7th Voyage of Sinbad. There are sights you never saw before, or even dreamed of.
You have just seen a special preview of the new miracle process, Dynamation, which will be introduced to the screen in Columbia Pictures' The 7th Voyage of Sinbad, starring Kerwin Matthews and Catherine Grant, co-starring Richard Eyre as the Genie of the Magic Lamp, with Torrin Thatcher. In Technicolor, The 7th Voyage of Sinbad is the 8th wonder of the screen.
Journey to a magical time when demons and heroes battled for the golden treasures and human spoils of forgotten kingdoms. Kill him. Thrill to the story of a legendary superhero who fights through all the torments of hell to save the woman he loves from the world's most powerful sorcerer. This is Sinbad's greatest adventure. The 7th Voyage of Sinbad. She was once a beautiful princess. The sadistic magician shrinks her to the size of a tiny doll. And now, Sinbad must do the impossible to save her. He must destroy a legion of hell-spawned monsters on the death-shrouded island of Colossa. See the flashing death of the living skeleton. See the attack of the giant two-headed bird. See the dance of the Cobra Woman and feel her deadly slithering embrace. See the spectacular battle between the one-eyed Cyclops and the fire-breathing dragon. The incredible magic of Dinorama recreates the enchanted, breathtaking adventure that could never be told before. The 7th Voyage of Sinbad.
Gentlemen, we are witnessing a biological chain reaction, a geometrical progression of deadly menace.
It had started casually, insignificantly, as momentous events often do.
Look there. 2 points off the port bow.
The giant behemoth, the fire-spitting monster predicted in the Bible. Its core a mass of lethal radiation. Rising from the depths of time, its strength enormous, its gargantuan ferocity a threat to London, to the world itself.
We must find a way of destroying this creature in one piece. Judging by the beast's size, I would say it was powerful enough to drive a battleship.
Of course, its tremendous electric charge is what projects the radiation. That's what makes the creature so deadly.
Well, have you any concrete suggestions? Yes. First, block off the Thames.
Alive after 70 million years. Dinosaurs! Roaring, walking, destroying. Dinosaurus! The most amazing adventure since the beginning of time. Dinosaurus! For these people, there could only be shock and dismay. For who among them could believe that out of the primordial slime had come these creatures? The huge Brontosaurus, the ferocious Tyrannosaurus, even a primitive caveman. Panic-stricken, horrified, did they have the courage, the ingenuity to survive?
How do we get word out, Hacker? Mailboat will be in tomorrow morning. By tomorrow, we could all be dead.
We are going to be friends, you and me.
Sights never before seen on the screen. A 60-ton dinosaur tamed by a small boy and a caveman. A caveman loose in a modern home. The death duel of the dinosaurs. A girl caught by the dread Tyrannosaurus. The battle between giant monster and monster machine. The moat of fire.
It's holding him. Yeah, but for how long?
a world of dynamic magic. As Jonathan Swift's immortal entertainment comes to life in the screen recreation of the book, whose savage commentary on life and society shook the world, while the glorious imagination of its author takes Gulliver from Lilliput, the land of the little people, to Brobdingnag, the land of the giants.
I'm Dr. Lemuel Gulliver. Where am I?
He's alive! He's alive!
The Adventures of Gulliver and the three worlds that no one man ever traveled before. Only the magic of super dynamation makes this incredible world-famous story come to life. As real people change size before your very eyes.
He's stealing our ship! Get in!
Yes, super dynamation transports you into a world of wonders. You meet face to face the Lilliputian lovers, Gwendolen and Reldresal. For the first time in the history of motion pictures, it has been possible to film the story of the little people of Lilliput who were 6 inches small. And the giants of Brobdingnag who were 60 feet tall. You will see the lovelorn Elizabeth in the land of the giants.
Where's the bride and groom?
There they are, King Drop.
Oh, sure you know what you're doing?
Now, none of your foolish jokes.
You will marvel at the fairy tale wedding in the land of the giants.
I pronounce you man and wife by the authority vested in me by me.
Please help us! Help us!
In scenes defying the imagination, you meet this giant child.
Blunderclitch! Here I am!
Whose pigtail becomes a lifeline out of a squirrel's burrow. See Gulliver pitted in mortal combat with a giant alligator. Sail with Gulliver into 1,001 adventures. Real danger, real excitement, real people. All made possible through the miracle of super dynamation.
Whatever you have imagined in your wildest dreams now becomes a visual reality. As Jules Verne's most fantastic adventure in space and time becomes an amazing film experience.
Lighten the basket, we gotta gain height!
Jules Verne, the man whose great stories inspired such unusual films as Around the World in 80 Days, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Journey to the Center of the Earth, surpasses them all with Mysterious Island. Starring Michael Craig, who triggers the screen's most thrilling escape, Gary Merrill as a war correspondent, Joan Greenwood, shipwrecked on the mysterious island. And in this story of survival, Michael Callan and Beth Rogan.
Come on.
What's it doing?
I don't know.
Sealing us in.
Also starring Herbert Lom as the mysterious Captain Nemo and his fabulous submarine, the Nautilus.
Aren't we able to do anything to save ourselves?
There's nothing that can be done.
Super Dynamation, newest and greatest screen process, astonishes the eye with such scenes as the fight to the death with a prehistoric devilfish, the discovery and destruction of an underwater city, Mysterious Island. Photograph on land, under the sea, and in the air. Truly a first in motion pictures.
Hitch a ride and careen across the countryside as the wonderful world of the Brothers Grimm sweeps you into an exciting new world of rollicking entertainment, happily enlivened by a distinctive cast of stars. Lawrence Harvey and Carl Bone portray the two brothers who together told 1,000 stories the world will never forget.
Once upon a time.
Share the true life adventures of these incredible young men, their friends and their enemies, their lives and their loves. It was easy to fall in love with the dark-haired beauty of Claire Bloom and the blonde loveliness of Barbara Eden. Out of the world of reality, their fabulous stories actually come to life. Favorites like Hansel and Gretel, Cinderella, Rumpelstiltskin, and the Cobbler's Elves, George Pal's famous puppetoons.
To whack with a tack and a hammer, your eyes light up and your heart goes boom-ah-oo.
Yvette Mimeo is exquisite as the dancing princess who loses her heart to popular Russ Tamblyn. Jim Backus rules a jovial court. And hilarious Terry Thomas portrays a dragon-hunting knight. But he leaves his fighting to that stalwart hero, Buddy Hackett. The wonderful world of the Brothers Grimm not only will startle your eyes with its breathtaking vistas and warm your heart with its human drama, but it will transport you to the storybook world, where you can dance with a beautiful princess or fight a duel with a fire-breathing dragon. In a wonderful world of romance, adventure, songs, spectacle, and stars.
And the Argonauts, the classic story of an epic voyage that has been told and retold since the birth of Western civilization, now presented on the screen for the first time.
Pull! Pull! Till your hearts crack and your backs break!
Jason and his band of Argonauts, the mightiest warriors the world of adventure has ever known, in search of the fabulous magic golden fleece.
Where will you find this miracle?
I have heard there is a tree at the end of the world, with a fleece of gold hanging in its branches.
Here is the magnificent excitement of that legendary time when men like gods and gods like men lived and loved violently. Todd Armstrong and Nancy Kovac portray the classic lovers. Jason, the man who challenges the gods. Medea, who betrays a kingdom for love. Acastus, driven by a lust for power. Hera, goddess and woman, who defies the might of Zeus, king of the gods, who unleashes his fury at rebellious mortals. The Argonauts, caught in the clutches of the towering bronze giant Talos. The Argonauts, battling vulturous harpies. Jason, threatened by the seven-headed Hydra. Medea, the temple dancer, mysterious, exciting, and exotic. Jason, battling the army of skeletons.
Kill, kill, kill them all!
One man defying a universe of mortal and immortal dangers. Jason and the Argonauts. A search that became a legend.
Ever since time began, man has been fascinated by the mystery of the moon. But over 60 years ago, writer H.G. Wells anticipated the shape of things to come with his fascinating adventure, First Men in the Moon. The story of the first men to bridge the 250,000 miles between heaven and earth. This is how it began.
This is a solemn moment in the history of mankind.
We're off!
Just as I predicted, shot into space with the speed of a bullet.
First Men in the Moon. An experience unparalleled on the screen as two worlds meet and clash.
Cover! Help me, cover!
First Men in the Moon. Starring Edward Judd, first human to set foot on a strange new world in space. Martha Heyer, the first woman to experience the indescribable dangers of this other world.
Stay away from there, I'll shoot!
Lionel Jeffries, who discovers an empire beyond imagination. First Men in the Moon. Filmed in Dynamation. Dynamation, miracle of the screen, captures the whole marvelous, miraculous story of man's first journey to the moon.
Well, it makes all other forms of power obsolete. That's why they're getting their power from sunlight.
You will discover human ant-like creatures H.G. Wells called selenites, and giant gastropods.
Cover, run!
Fearsome moon monsters to be hunted and killed. You will encounter another world of eerie beauty and infinite mystery.
Soon others will be coming from Earth. Our galleries will be strewn with dead.
I'm the only one who holds the secret of Caverite.
Then you and your secret will remain here on the moon.
Cavo! Cavo, this is not an audience, you're on trial! No, Bedford! No! You're convicted!
Years BC erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement. 1,000,000 years BC, when the earth parted and the mountains fell. Primitive man and monstrous beasts fought each other to inherit the earth. Not since time began has the primitive scene been captured for the screen with such imaginative realism. Behold man 1 million years BC. Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch, the sensational star discovery of this or any other year in 1 million years BC. See her as Loana the Fair One, who deserted her tribe and risked her life to follow Tumac of the Rock People. John Richardson as Tumac, as big and strong as the beasts he fought for survival. Nupondi the Wild One, whom no man could resist. See the fascinating, strange, and fearful creatures who roamed and ruled the earth 1 million years BC. The Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl, a flying reptile with giant teeth. The flesh-eating Allosaurus. The Triceratops, a horned dinosaur in battle with the savage Ceratosaurus. You will share the unending thrills and excitement of a world of primitive wonders, of primeval terror and savagery. You will indeed live in another world, in another time, as the centuries fall back to reveal the Earth 1 million years BC. Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch as Loana the Fair One. John Richardson as Tumac.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to see has never been seen before by human eyes.
Professor, there's a big lizard back there, and he's heading this way. Now get aboard.
Get Spears! Get Spears!
4 teenage boys and girls fight a devil cult for their sanity, for their lives, for their eternal souls. Equinox, a story that defies logic, confounds belief. Dr. Wyman, wait! Wait!
I can't believe it. It was just a fall.
What was the secret of the 1,000-year-old book? What are the unspeakable horrors conjured by the forces of evil? What is the fiendish power of the ring that enslaves and destroys? What is the one symbol that can hold at bay the hosts of hell unleashed on earth? Equinox, proving again that there is more in heaven and on earth than is dreamt of in our philosophy. Equinox! Equinox! Begins where Rosemary's Baby left off.
When dinosaurs ruled the earth. This is the time, the very beginning, before man was master, when the moon wrenched a place for itself in the heavens. This is the time when men lived in fear, and the color of a woman's hair decided who should be sacrificed. Starring Victoria Vetri, who could tame any man. Who could even train man's deadliest enemy.
Necro!
This is the time of unimaginable dangers. Danger from above, danger from below, danger from every living thing in this primitive world.
See the sorcerer of the black arts, the gold helmet faceless vizier, the death fight of the centaur on the griffin, the six-armed goddess of evil. flying homunculus. The savage siren on a rampage. The duel with the vanishing sorcerer. The one-eyed centaur. The oracle of all knowledge. The fountain of destiny.
Gentlemen, we are in big trouble.
You've heard about it. You've read about it. Now, finally, you can see it.
It will be a dangerous trip, and I don't know what we're likely to encounter out there. But someone has got to save the Earth from the treacherous clutches of that evil ray.
Sure. Why not? We'll give it a try.
Blast off with Flesh Gordon and his cosmic crusade against all evil. Witness the unbelievable, death-defying feats of that most remarkable superhero of them all, Flesh Gordon. Journey with Flesh Gordon through the dangerous outer reaches of intergalactic space. Flesh Gordon. The ridiculous. My ass. The unmentionable. The preposterous. Be swept away to the dazzling heights of astonishment as you enter worlds unknown.
Good. There's oxygen on this planet.
Your sickness. We have captured the Earth people and await your command.
The Earth people, eh?
Flesh Gordon. Look! An outrageous parody of yesteryear's superheroes.
It's the 8th wonder of the world.
Oh, boy. Not to be confused with the original Flash Gordon.
What is the shuddering terror that strikes deep into the minds and bodies of these residents of a remote mountain community?
We're up against something here. It goes against every natural law.
Crater Lake Monster, a creature from the dawn of time, unleashed by a freak of nature to prey on an unsuspecting world. Out of this lake, carved in the high mountains, is spawned one of the most hideous beasts from the birth of time. Crater Lake Monster, a motion picture of unrelenting suspense, fright, and panic. Crater Lake Monster, a beast more frightening than your most terrifying nightmare. Crater Lake Monster. Prepare yourself for the horror sensation of the year, filmed in incredible new Phantomation.
Crater Lake Monster.
These eyes peer out through time, through space, to a land beyond imagination. These are the eyes of the tiger. Follow their gaze back to where legends first began, where fantasy is real and the land of the lost is rediscovered. Journey across the oceans of antiquity to the northern edge of the ancient world. As Sinbad battles with both human
From the depths of the earth, I command you, arise!
and supernatural evil.
Destroy them! Kill Sinbad! I bewitched him. Let me get the smile from her face!
Filmed in the miracle of Dinorama. Starring Patrick Wayne, Taryn Power, Jane Seymour. From producers Charles H. Schneer and Ray Harryhausen. Come face to face with the prehistoric Trog. See the sorceress bring life to the all-powerful Minotaur.
Eat with the power as only I command you.
See Sinbad battle the saber-toothed tiger, guardian of the secret shrine. Join Sinbad, the greatest of all adventurers, in his biggest adventure of all. Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
This could all be happening right now, somewhere on this planet. It's the story of a UFO that has landed and visitors from a galaxy light years away. It's an adventure unlike anything on this planet. A weapon that might belong to us in the future, but is here now. Laser blast. It's the story of the boy who found it and the girl who tried to help him.
What about the lump on your chest?
And a world that tried to take it away.
They didn't know I noticed. I want the town sealed off. No news leaks. No news, period.
Laser blast. It will blow your mind.
Planet of Dinosaurs. Another world. Beyond infinity. Beyond imagination. Planet of Dinosaurs. 10-ton titans of terror. Flash. In a savage struggle for survival. Blazing lasers. Cosmic combat. Lethal lizards. Planet of Dinosaurs. In cosmic color.
Provide him with suitable weapons. Weapons of divine temper. A helmet, a shield, a sword.
Find and fulfill your destiny.
The myth, the magic, the mystery, the majesty.
Destroy Argos!
Let loose the last of the Titans. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer presents Clash of the Titans. The good, the evil, the danger,
the daring.
How may a mortal man face and defeat the Kraken?
Clash of the Titans. The combat, the courage, the splendor, the spectacle. Clash of the Titans, starring Harry Hamlin as Perseus, Judy Bowker as Andromeda, Burgess Meredith, Maggie Smith, Ursula Andress, Claire Bloom, Sean Phillips, Flora Robeson, and Laurence Olivier as Zeus. Before history, beyond imagination. Clash of the Titans.
The dawn of civilization. Primitive, dangerous, exciting, wet, and sloppy. Caveman. The handwriting is on the wall. If the human race is ever going to amount to anything, it needs a leader. Will it be Tanda? He is strong. How about Gog? Gog is out of sight. And Atuk. Atuk sounds good. Atuk will be the leader of the Stone Age. He will teach man to walk erect. He will discover fire. He will invent roast chicken. And fried eggs. Sunny side up. He will inspire the men. And zug-zug the women.
Atuk tawa zug-zug?
Yeah. Atuk, zug-zug, Lana.
He will protect them from all the beasts of the earth. Ringo Starr, Barbara Bach, Dennis Quaid, Shelley Long, John Matuzak, Avery Schreiber, and Jack Guilford. Caveman. They don't call it the Stone Age for nothing.
Beyond this door lies a world of wonders. A studio where special effects wizard Ray Harryhausen and producer Charles Schneer make the unreal real in the magic of Dinorama for countless moviegoers. They are discussing Kali, the six-armed goddess who matches swords with the legendary Sinbad in their latest voyage into the unknown. Remember some of their previous films? Here's a giant crab of Jules Verne's Mysterious Island. This alligator was a tough opponent in the three worlds of Gulliver, to say the least. And this bee created a frightening hive in Mysterious Island. regiment of skeletons came to life in Jason and the Argonauts. In their new film, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Schneer and Harryhausen move from the drawing board to a sunny beach in Majorca. This beach isn't as lonely as you might think. The film crew and a group of holiday sunbathers are on hand to watch. This is how the landing will look in the finished film against a highly imaginative background of ancient cliff carvings. As you can see, there's a real live Sinbad played by John Philip Law, as well as the lovely Caroline Munro, who shares his adventures. They are entering the fantastic cave in which they are about to do their first scene. No stuntman for this Sinbad. John Philip Law has to climb a 75-foot rope in this daring scene. Meanwhile, back at the beach, Caroline poses for some magazine pin-ups, technically and figuratively out of costume. But in the dressing room, she's being prepared to meet a horde of mysterious green men from the island of Lemuria, with this result. The really difficult work starts when Harryhausen has to make this evil homunculus come to life. Tom Baker plays Kura, Sinbad's arch enemy, and his little playmate does his evil bidding. How does one create a disembodied oracle? Well, it's simple when you know how. What about this centaur, half man and half horse? What are the odds when a griffin meets a centaur in mortal combat? Who will triumph in this struggle to the death? You remember Kali? 6 arms, 6 swords, ready to take on all comers? A fair fight if I've ever seen one. The Golden Voyage finished, Ray Harryhausen plans his next fantastic adventure for millions of moviegoers. A few years from now, you may be joining this mysterious stranger on another exciting journey into a world of wonders, courtesy of Charles Schneer and Ray Harryhausen.
Dinosaurs, the most gigantic beasts that ever lived. Behemoths that ruled the earth for 160 million years. The snake-necked Brontosaurus. Flying dragons like the pterodactyl. The first discovery of fossilized dinosaur bones in the early 1800s, the romantic lure of these colossal reptiles has been worldwide. The child within all of us sees something special in these mammoth creatures. Big, unstoppable. The dinosaurs successfully evolved from creatures smaller than a man to 2- and 4-legged animals the size of a boxcar. Some of the meat-eating predators could even run more than 20 miles per hour and leap onto their victims like ferocious jungle cats. And then they were gone. Why? Was there some cosmic catastrophe? Perhaps a comet smashing into Earth, throwing millions of tons of debris into the air, cutting off the sunlight and lowering the temperatures to bone-chilling cold all over the world. Or perhaps a terrible virus spread across the ancient world, killing them off in huge herds. Or perhaps it was simply time for them to go. Archaeologists and paleontologists agree that the great reptiles passed from the scene millions of years before even the earliest man walked the earth. There is no absolute proof that any form of primitive man, even the earliest anthropoid ape men, lived alongside dinosaurs. This is strictly a concept of science fiction, yet the myths of the great dragons are worldwide. And even today, there are hints of continued existence of prehistoric monsters, like the Loch Ness Monster, which some theorize to be a plesiosaur, a long-necked aquatic reptile that somehow survived through the ages. Glimpses of huge moving shapes, or mysterious corpses dragged from the sea. Tales of legendary beastmen like the Sasquatch, Bigfoot in the American Northwest, and the Yeti, the abominable snowman of the Himalayas, hint that science may not have all the answers. During the 19th century, scientific safaris braved unexplored areas like the African veldt and the Mato Grosso in Brazil, discovering many strange new animals. In 1912, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, turned his writing talents to science fiction with The Lost World. And in 1925, Hollywood adapted the novel to the silent movie screen, the first feature-length prehistoric film saga. This granddaddy of all monster movies had more dinosaurs than any movie since. Although the techniques look relatively crude to us 70 years later, in 1925 they caused a sensation and set the stage for every dinosaur movie to follow. As in the Conan Doyle novel, a scientific safari discovers a plateau in the South American jungle. Atop this plateau, dinosaurs have existed unchanged for millions of years. The leader of this expedition is the bearded, fiery Professor Challenger, played by Wallace Beery, primarily known as a comedian before this film. Accompanying him was his... Still hungry, the Allosaurus tries to make a meal of the spiky Triceratops, whose name means three-horned head. Later, on the edge of the cliff, a 60-ton brontosaur battles for its life against the marauding allosaur. The long-necked beast plunges over the cliff, but survives. When the explorers manage to climb down themselves, Professor Challenger announces his plan to cart the Brontosaurus back to London to prove to the disbelieving world the existence of the lost world. But the great beast escapes into the streets of London, causing panic. This rampage also set a pattern for many movies to come. The combination of live-action real people and stop-motion dinosaurs was accomplished by combining two negatives onto the same piece of film. The weight of the beast smashes through the span of the Tower Bridge. In one of the few happy endings in monster movie history, the Brontosaurus swims down the River Thames and presumably out to sea, away from mankind. Sir John Roxton, always a gentleman, gives his blessing to the young man and young woman, though it obviously breaks his own heart to do so. The lovers go off together, the Brontosaurus is gone, and Professor Challenger is left alone on London Bridge, planning his next adventure. In 1930, Willis O'Brien and Harry Hoyt, director of The Lost World, planned a similar movie called Creation, about a submarine crew swept into a prehistoric world. Model dinosaurs were fashioned by O'Brien's associate Marcel Delgado. O'Brien, known as Obi to his friends, refined the effects process by projecting images onto a transparent screen so actors could appear to interact with filmed footage of the models. The steamy jungle backgrounds were painted on sheets of glass and layered to provide an illusion of depth. Unfortunately, the project was dropped by RKO Studios as too expensive. Here you see the process piece by piece. The stop-motion animated model of a plesiosaur on a beach is combined with previously shot footage of human actors projected onto a section of the miniature set and synchronized with the actions of the model. This action must be determined even before one frame of film is shot, with sketches and diagrams. Then, when the footage is edited together with sound effects, dialogue, and music, the illusion is complete. This is from the film Lost on Adventure Island, produced in Hawaii.
Big and hungry. Move it.
In 1933, producers Marion C. Cooper and Ernest Schoedsack planned to make a live-action movie about a giant gorilla. They considered using a live gorilla and having it wrestle with a real Komodo dragon, until they saw the test footage for creation.
Your shoes untied. My pencil.
Boys and girls, don't be so stupid, Richard.
Hey, get a load of this one.
Class, this morning, we're going to discuss the biggest animal that ever walked the earth.
Richard.
The dinosaur. And because Philip is very interested in the subject, I've asked him to give a report.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, yeah.
What a drag.
Boring. The word dinosaur means terrible lizard. Actually, they weren't lizards at all. They were reptiles. The largest ones weighed as much as 100 tons.
Hey, man, that's heavy.
But the smallest dinosaur was not much bigger than a turkey. Until recently, scientists believed the dinosaur to be extinct. But now they believe that there is one animal that is directly descended from the mighty dinosaur.
Crocodiles.
Elephants.
Margaret's mother.
Birds. And it all began with an egg. Unlike the fishes and amphibians before them, the dinosaurs laid their eggs out of the water. When they were born, they were prepared to exploit the land. Exploit? Did you say exploit? There were tall ones.
That's you, Margaret.
Short ones. Richard, just shut up. Fat ones. And flat ones.
You again, Margaret.
Children, come now. Who knows what the dinosaurs ate?
Anything they wanted.
Yeah, man, in the movies, they eat people.
That's so neat.
Yeah, man, they just hang out their mouths. Yeah, man, they be kicking their legs and everything. It's really cool. Dinosaurs did not eat people.
Well, that's really disappointing.
There weren't any people. The last dinosaur died 60 million years before man.
And how do you even know they were here?
Because scientists have found their bones, and they put them all together. They know a lot about them. How big they were, how they moved around, what they ate. They even found dinosaur footprints.
Sit down, Richard.
I'm starving.
What did dinosaurs eat?
What's for lunch?
I don't know.
Read the lunch menu.
Some dinosaurs were herbivores. Now that means that they ate only plants. They were harmless creatures with teeth suitable only for chewing soft plant food. Brussels sprout. But some dinosaurs had rows and rows of huge teeth. They were the carnivores. Yeah! That means they ate only meat.
Sloppy Joes, man.
Sometimes they ate other dinosaurs.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
But the largest of the giant dinosaurs was a plant eater. The Brachiosaurus was 50 feet tall and slow-witted, with a brain the size of a kitten's. It got by with fewer ounces of brain in proportion to its weight than any other backboned animal we know of.
Except for Richard.
The longest dinosaur measured 1/3 the length of a football field.
That ought to keep everybody in the locker room.
When he received a message here, it had to travel all the way to its brain. Here. And then the message from the brain had to travel all the way back again. That could take as long as a minute. So the Diplodocus had a sort of a helper brain. Here.
You ought to send away for one of those, Richard.
You need some help. The Ankylosaurus was the armored tank of dinosaurs. Like other plant eaters, it moved slowly, and its teeth were only good for chewing plants. But shields of bony plates covered its back, and small ones nearly covered its face.
That looked like Margaret's mother.
And it carried a tail like a war club.
Ow, that hurt.
And for my next number, the meanest and most ferocious of the dinosaurs was the meat-eating Tyrannosaurus rex. It had teeth as long and sharp as knives, and it could open its mouth a full 4 feet.
Don't say it, Richard.
Its name means Tyrant Lizard King. And when he talked, everybody listened. What happened to them, Philip? They died. Of what? That is a mystery. There are many theories regarding the extinction of the dinosaur, but no one knows for sure what happened. A change in climate may have been responsible. Vast areas of dinosaur country cooled, and perhaps the dinosaur couldn't adapt. They were too big to burrow into the ground, and too bulky to move to a warmer climate.
Why don't we move Philip to a warmer climate? How about the furnace room?
Some people believe that growing numbers of mammals were eating the dinosaur eggs, so that fewer and fewer of them were hatched.
Awesome, bird brain!
Changes in the Earth's surface may have endangered the dinosaur as well. Mountains were pushed up, and swampy lands turned into desert. With fewer plants to eat, the plant-eating dinosaurs became fewer.
Uncool.
And the plant-eating dinosaurs had been food for the meat-eating dinosaurs.
What a drag.
So then, there were fewer meat-eating dinosaurs.
I don't want to die!
Shut up! And that's not all. Some scientists think the rays from an exploding star killed the dinosaur.
Oh, dear.
I mean, think about it. 200 million years ago. The Jurassic period. The land was covered with thick forests of conifers and giant ferns. There were marshes and bayous everywhere. It was warm then, almost tropical. This was the home of the dinosaur.